All right, everyone, you asked for more Dr. Cass Ingram, the health hunter himself, and I know you even got more to talk about. Well, what do we have?
Look, my friend, this opiate thing and all these addictions and all the
Yes.
pain-killing nonsense and abuse of the drugs, not by the street guys, but by the pharmaceutical.
Yeah, the doctors.
The doctors. So I feel for the people. So I know you wanted to get the word out. Can you get the word out for me?
I can get the word out
All
because we are very in tune about this whole opioid addiction, and it's got to stop.
It's got to end now. And so we don't need them because, first of all, they're addictive. Secondly, they're chemical. And, of course, they cause destruction to the gut, the liver, the kidneys. Let's take something that doesn't damage an internal organ and it's more effective, too.
Yes.
That's going to be the power of the cannabis with the turmeric, that combination. Why? Because your cannabinoids activate the anti-pain mechanism in the neurons. So they're causing the body to deal with the pain better and to recover, to be able to combat it. But then we want something to get in there to cut the inflammation.
Right.
And that's the turmerones and the turmeric and the curcuminoid and the rosemary and the ginger. So fortunately, they've done a great job here with that can of curcumin. I know you're a fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm a big fan. I actually take this every single day.
You do?
Especially with the capsules. I know I take 2 every morning. I'm generally healthy, and when I come back from the gym, I usually take a couple, and I'm
It's
good.
a good idea, and we could reduce the inflammation load in our body and also sort of activate the neurons or the neuron receptors,
Right.
so that we don't have so much propensity to pain. So that the benefit of that is if you're on opiates or if you're on pharmaceuticals for depression or even anxiety, any of these powerful drugs that affect the brain, any kind of painkiller, or maybe you're drinking alcohol because you're trying to suppress something. This activates the neurons so much that you feel good. You're happy. You don't feel so much pain, so you don't have the need for the drug. So we use this even to wean people off the medication.
Oh, now that's fantastic because we don't think about people having to be weaned off an opioid. They're just,
They have to be.
yeah, most people say, "Oh, just stop it," or the doctor will just
They could
try to reduce the drugs. But if they're dealing with pain, they're not going to reduce that. They got to have something else to go along with it.
You do, along with it, and work with your doctor to get off. But there are fatalities from suddenly dropping off of morphine-like agents, where you go into respiratory failure.
Oh my goodness.
Or it can suppress the respiration. But the big thing is that the turmeric in a raw, crude state, that's what
Yes.
this is. So it's so unprocessed. So it's like maybe 100 times more potent than what we're used to, the typical pills,
My
the typical
goodness.
turmeric pills.
Wow.
When you add in the cannabis with it, as I mentioned, you cover all the mechanisms that are involved in pain response. Now, what could you use it for? You could use it definitely to support for arthritis, rheumatism, back pain, knee, hip, injury pain, and also people who get accidents, they end up on opiates. You got to be taking this. And then work with your doctor to get off the addictive drug.
And any type of conditions that have to deal with the immune system, weaken immunity, they need to build that up.
But you want to take that inflammation out of that concept.
Oh, right.
So that if you've got this weakened immunity and you're having viruses and bacteria and fungal and candida and you've got all this inflammatory cascade going, I give them the can of curcumin so they can start to heal better. So definitely there's good inflammation, but there's a lot of bad inflammation. So it's better to just let the inflammation settle on its own. The other benefit you got is neuron, like if you got a stroke or you had a concussion, something happened, you've damaged your nerves, and they see spots and plaques on the brain.
Well, let me ask you this, and this isn't a claim. This is just a health medical question because you're the doctor. I get a lot of people that ask me, well, can I take the cannabinoids? Can I take the turmeric? I'm going through chemo. I'm going through radiation. Can I take those types of things? And, to help my immune system, my white blood cell count.
Well, definitely, we know that this supports a healthy immune system, supporting the neurons, supporting that healthy inflammation response. So again, we're not making claims about the diseases, but we do know from the science that this is a definite action that you get.
Right.
But what I'm going to clarify is why spend a lot of money on something that's equivocal, which are the isolates? You get the results with the crude material.
Right.
That's why they used to feed turmeric milk for the immune system when they had colds and flu in India, and for arthritis and poor flexibility. They gave the whole powder in milk with coconut milk or what have
Well,
you.
see, and there's the secret. Turmeric enters the body more effectively when it's tied to a fat.
That's right.
And the foods that you're talking about are fat. And I know that when you make the turmeric, it's actually with the olive oil, which is considered a healthy fat.
That's right. So when you get the drops, first of all, it's emulsified. So that's going to bypass some of the absorption issues.
Right.
So you're micellizing it, squirt it under the tongue so it's already there. But it's in that olive oil. Also, you can take it with a meal where you're having some fat, like the capsules.
Yes.
Will stimulate. Or when you're using the turmeric milk, the turma milk.
Yes.
Then that one, you put it in the coconut milk or almond milk, add a bit of ghee or coconut fat, and then you get that big kick. And I love that whole food form. I'll tell you this, when you use the whole food form, you get the benefits. You get the results. So you can now help these listeners work with their physician to get off these drugs that could cause fatality or organ damage. They don't need them. If you can just deal with your pain, then you know, obviously the opiates are just symptom control.
Right, and and I've heard where people who stay on them for a long period of time, their nerves actually get to be very oversensitive. And then they have to take more of those drugs, and they're technically addicted because the pain gets worse.
It does.
It's actually not making it better. It's actually, putting it under the rug, but it's just getting worse.
It is getting worse, and you get some damage to the receptors in the brain cells and such, whereas when you're taking cannabis, you're taking turmeric, you're taking the turmerones, you actually get we said before, the neuroregeneration. So I keep telling people it's the opposite. You're taking an herb, you don't get side effects, instead you get the body, you get the body to change, to regenerate.
Well, and that's what we need. And and the thing about pain, when people have pain, they're thinking the eyes, the area of the pain. They don't realize that the brain is actually involved in that process to get that pain to reduce.
That's exactly what you want to do. You want to treat pain systemically. If you want to do something topical locally, you could take definitely like oil of oregano we've talked about before, rosemary oil, you can do that. But the way you're going to get rid of the problem and get rid of the addictive drugs is to take it systemically. That means turmeric milk, I would recommend. Can of Curcumin, drops, capsules. That would be a really good start.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself, Dr. Cass Ingram. Check out cassingram.com for more information. And, hey, get a couple of those books that he's written. You're going to learn more than you'll ever want to know, and you can actually share that with your friends. We'll be right back after this.